Hello there and good morning. Last week on Tuesday the 19th of March, the EU Commission issued a press release saying that it would that day adopt work programmes to co-finance joint defence industrial projects in 2019 to 2020 worth up to €500 million with another €25 million for defence industrial projects. This is the start of the European Defence Fund that was launched in 2017 after the UK had voted to leave the European Union. And the press release goes on to say, a fully-fledged European Defence Fund will foster an innovative and competitive defence industrial base and contribute to the EU's strategic autonomy. The Finnish politician and EU Commission Vice President for Jobs, Jyrki Katainen, said that European defence is happening, while Polish politician and EU Commissioner for the Internal Market, Elżbieta Bieńkowska, said, "To ensure Europe can protect its citizens, we need cutting-edge defence technology and equipment in areas like artificial intelligence, drone technology, satellite communication and intelligence systems." So, no EU army then. But note that both those commissioners and the release itself referred not to EU defence, but to European defence. But worse, this is the system into which Theresa May's withdrawal agreement and political declaration plugs the UK. So those arrangements were always, it seems, designed to ensure that the UK was built into the EU future programmes, whatever happened. This is not negotiation, this is capitulation before we're even out of the starting blocks. No MPs are talking about this, none. Labour is silent on it, the Tories are silent on it, and the Lib Dems are silent on it. And more worryingly, it appears that the Brexiteers in the ERG are also silent on it. Those withdrawal proposals place the UK defence system inside an EU structure which is, as it says in the press release, all about the EU's strategic autonomy. We do not feature. The UK is already being sucked into this, with the campaign group Veterans for Britain tweeting that government-funded Innovate UK is involved in sponsoring an upcoming EU defence event, and it also said, EU Commission is seeking UK expertise to support the equipment priorities of the EU's Defence Fund, which is only open to companies domiciled in countries which apply EU defence policy, known as CSDP. Now, the CSDP is the Common Security and Defence Policy. The tweet goes on. Either the UK leaves the EU and the UK companies involved in this EU ploy lose their investment and IP rights, or lying ministers use those companies' involvement, which was created by ministers post-referendum, as a reason to stay under EU defence policy. They cooked this up. Now, we are told that the withdrawal agreement is all about just leaving the EU and that deals cannot be agreed until after we have actually left the EU. The reasoning being that nothing agreed as part of Article 50 can be permanent. But this situation seems to suggest that the UK has already agreed to be permanently within these EU defence structures. And it further suggests that our ministers and the defence companies involved are aware of that. Also remember that right from the get-go, Theresa May refused to use our defence capability as a bargaining chip, whilst every other bargaining chip, including the Good Friday Agreement, was played to the full. While the UK is engaged in extricating itself from the European Union, our ministers should not be quietly agreeing to join it at the hip militarily, either as part of any withdrawal agreement or via any other side agreement either. So, despite Brexit, we're still going to be controlled at a defence and therefore foreign policy level by the European Union. There goes parliamentary sovereignty. This is just one more anti-UK stitch-up as we hand over our military to the EU under the guise of a wider European defence, which NATO has always been the real defender of. Anyway, what do you think? Please leave a comment below and thank you for watching.